What is up, everybody? Justin with the Real Alaska Podcast. This is my cohort / sidekick something.
Tyler Boger, what's going on, everybody?
We're here with Dan the Man.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time zone you're listening to.
Yeah, Dan Newman,
day.
Alaska Premier Auctions.
Welcome, Dan. Welcome.
Hello.
Happy to have you, man.
Absolute pleasure and honor to be here. Thank you for taking the time to let me be here.
Well, of course, been friends for a while, and of course, you know, kind of a hot commodity here in Anchorage.
Sure, yeah, let's go with that.
It's the beard, bro.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
It's okay. This is video too, so people are going to see it.
Even better.
Well, yeah, man, brought you on, obviously, like we talked about, is we like to cover Alaska-based business, let business owners tell their cool Alaska story, because I'm sure has not always been just rainbows and unicorns.
Oh, no, absolutely not. I think, yeah, anybody that starts their own company from the ground up is going to face their fair share of challenges and trials and tribulations, but
Yeah.
you know, powering through, hustling, grinding, figuring it out. That's the can-do atmospheric spirit that you need, that entrepreneurial, you know, go-getterness that
Right.
that powers you through.
Yeah. So, obviously, you know, where are you from?
So I was born and raised here in
Okay.
Anchorage, Alaska. First generation American. My mom came over from Argentina when she was in her early 30s. She had my sister and I, and she raised us by herself. And through her hard work and dedication to raising us the right way, she afforded us opportunities to attend, you know, a private Catholic school. Went to St. Elizabeth Ann Seton from kindergarten through 6th grade, and you know, got the scholarships that she needed to get for us so that we could attend that. So very blessed to have been given that opportunity, which then made like middle school a breeze.
Yeah.
Went to Handshoe, 7th grade, 8th grade at Polaris, and then went to Robert Service High School for my high school years. And so from 01 to 05, that's when I attended. I graduated in 05 from Service, but I actually consider myself more of a graduate from the King Career Center. So I
like KCC. Dude.
yeah, I love King. I know it's
Yeah.
technically now it's King Tech High School because it's a full on
Right.
high school that students could attend for all 4 years throughout
Really?
the entire day. Yeah, they've advanced their curriculum now to be full
That's
service.
cool.
But when I went there, it was a half day program, and you could do all sorts of different like trade schools. So there was mechanics, there was welding, early childhood development, travel and tourism, and I did radio TV production. And I did
explains a lot.
Yeah, I did the behind the scenes of, you know, cutting commercials and doing promotional spots and running an audio board and running cameras and splicing together video, and that was my senior, half of my junior year and my senior year, and I did well enough that they afforded me the opportunity to do an internship at Channel 2 as part of my senior year.
Oh, wow.
So I did that and did really well. Well enough that I guess I didn't screw it up enough, so they hired me on full time when I graduated.
Well, that's
Perfect.
cool, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So from 05 to about 2010, about 4.5 years or so, I did operations and engineering. So everything behind the scenes, again, camera, play out, master control, live van operator, all the nerdy, cool, gadgety, fun tech side of production, and reached a ceiling there that I felt like I wanted to switch things up a little bit. And my wife, who at the time was a news producer at Channel 2, I would lure her with gummy candies as I would parade on through the newsroom. Finally wore her down.
Yeah, nice. Well done.
Years later. But anyways, she comes, she's like, you know, you talk a lot and you know a lot of people. Maybe you should look at the whole sales thing. And there just so happened to be a sales position that had opened up. And I'd been doing retail sales here and there, so selling hats at Lids and sunglasses at Sunglass Hut. Been doing, you know, selling gadgets and tech out of Costco when they were selling both GCI and AT&T out of the same kiosk there. So that was even before the iPhone first came out. So yeah,
Oh, yeah, man.
So that was a little while ago, and so I decided, okay, let's give it a shot. Cut my hair, put on a suit and tie, and said, give me an opportunity, see what I can do. I've done sales before. How hard can it be? And there's where the fun part began, because I went from doing retail sales that, you know, people come to me as customers, to doing outside commercial advertising media sales. So, you know, I'm going out trying to find prospects and clients and selling them an intangible, helping them figure out, hey, if you're going to spend X amount of dollars on your ads, you want to see X amount of return back on your website clicks, on your phone ringing, on people walking through the threshold of your business. And so, how do you make that translate versus just throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks?
Exactly.
Yeah. So was successful in that endeavor as well. Climbed up the ranks in terms of being one of the top sales guys there at Channel 2. And then about 2018, mid to late 2017, early 2018, I started realizing I love this, but I feel like I was kind of at another golden handcuff ceiling, and realized again, I was never going to own the TV station. So if
much as you wanted
as
to.
much as I, in today's market, more and more so, these smaller TV outfits are getting bought up by the more giant corporate affiliates that are able to have competitive bargaining power against the agencies and the networks and the cable distributions. And so the smaller independent, more mom and pop shops are getting gobbled up there, and it's just more and more corporate, and that's fine for them. But I always consider myself a little bit of a closet entrepreneur just waiting to break out. And so I'd been going to different things. I don't know if you're familiar with the Kaufman Foundation's 1 Million Cups. It's like a little mini Shark Tank. Every Wednesday in just about every major city, they have a 1 Million Cups presentation. So a local entrepreneur, aspiring business owner, just somebody that's looking to test the waters can get up there and give a mini Shark Tank-esque presentation about their idea or their upstart company and get feedback from their community members. And so it's super low pressure. No one's in there like grilling you like Cuban or Mr. Wonderful. Yeah, no. It's just you're just surrounded by your peers. It's an opportunity to refine your pitch and get out there and see if your MVP, your minimum viable product is going to be worth it, kind of thing.
Right.
And I've been attending those on the advertising side of things, figuring like, hey, if someone's trying to pitch their new company, maybe they need advertising, but also kind of wondering like, man, some of these guys got some cool ideas. Like I want to do something for myself. And it got more and more so to the point where I realized like people can get paid to talk for a living. But I'm not at the point in my life where I want to be a motivational speaker or a life coach. Like I just don't feel like I've got that kind of experience yet. Like who's going to listen to me, right?
You're like, I don't have that clout.
Yeah,
I can be a life coach.
That professionalism, what is that? No. People look at me, I tell them what they do. They're like, okay, sure, whatever.
This guy.
And I'm a sales guy. It's in my blood. It's who I am. If taking interesting or difficult or complicated concepts and breaking them down to their lowest form so that somebody can understand, then make a decision about whether they want to purchase something or not, right? So helping people buy a product or service based off of whatever their needs are. So doing that client discovery, figuring out what people's needs really are, how we can help them fit all the pieces of the puzzle together to make a pretty picture to solve whatever it is that their issue might be or whatever obstacle they're trying to face or challenge they're trying to overcome. And so that's basically, to me, sales in a nutshell. It's just being that resource, being that tool. And even if you don't know, figuring out, who or what you can connect them to get to that resolution point that they're looking for. And so I'd been doing some emceeing and auctioneering for fun for like the Chamber and Rotary and, hosting different events. And that's kind of when auctioning for fun came about into auctioning for real. And so I started doing a little research and realized that there's actually auction schools out there. And so that's where I took the first leap of faith. And I signed up for the Missouri Auction School, which touts itself as the Harvard of auction schools. Yeah, I can use that. I can sell that.
You're like,
the time,
on to Harvard.
Yeah, the Harvard of auction schools. To be clear, no. But I mean, so Missouri has an auction school, Florida has an auction school, Nashville, Texas, wherever. There's Montana. So I found one that fit my price range, fit the time frame of what I needed to do in terms of kind of the requirements to become a certified auctioneer. Because I figured if I'm going to do it. Alaska not being a licensed state, any Joe Blow can call themselves an auctioneer. So I wanted to set myself apart from anybody just, hawking stuff on Craigslist out of their mom's garage or their uncle's basement, right? So being professional about it. Yeah. So got certified. I later took it a step further and got licensed. So I went down to Texas and got my Texas auctioneer's license. So that way, if I ever needed to do bid calling or an auction in another state that required licensure, I had reciprocity through their schooling. And licensed, bonded, insured, all the good stuff to be, a quality, reputable company. And slowly but surely started finding more and more opportunities. So that was January of 2018. July is when I went full time, jump off a cliff, learn how to build a plane on the way down. When there is no plan B, you figure out a way to make plan A work.
Right.
And it's, steadily, and I say slowly but surely. Other people might say it's grown a little quicker than some, but I'm all about that go big or go home. So I don't know any other speed, but just go.
Yeah.
Right. Just, what is it?
I feel like
What's the saying that you like to say?
my saying?
Yeah.
All gas, no brakes.
There you go. Yeah.
I think that's the entrepreneur spirit, though. Like, if you're gonna figure it out, you might as well just go head first. And,
you have to.
Yeah.
If there's a safety net, if there's an exit plan, not an exit strategy, because you should have an exit strategy, but if there's like a safety net, then you're not going to give it your all, because you're always going to have that little subliminal sense of crutch comfort that you can just rely on. So yeah, that's really the driving force and the hustle and the motivation. And my wife was like, well, we've got X amount in savings, you've got X amount of time, like a year to figure. I think she said 6 months. In my head, I knew I had about a year to figure it out. and so yeah, we've slowly and surely been building the team since there. So now Alaska Premier Auctions and Appraisals is at a point where we have an average of 2 auctions per week. So we're running thousands of units of inventory. We call them lots. So a lot of inventory, lot number 1, lot number 2, lot number 3, and so forth. Right. So each auction on average has about 500 lots of inventory, and we're doing 2 to 3 per week. I think our next closest competitor is doing 2 to 3 per month. Oh, wow. And in reality, I mean, there's plenty of business to go around, so they're doing their thing. But I don't even consider them our biggest competitor at this point. I feel like Facebook, Craigslist, Letgo, Mercari, hell, even garage sales can be our competitor. That those folks that want to do it themselves and are leaving money on the table by doing it in some cases. And so if we can help them out, my little shtick or spiel is that we deal with the 5 Ds: death, divorce, downsizing, departing from the state, and developing fundraising strategies. So those first 4 are going to be opportunities to help individuals as they go through the transitional phases in their lives. And if they don't have the time, the manpower, the desire, expertise to do it themselves, they hire us. And so we provide a service. It's commission-based. The better we do for them, the better we do for ourselves. And as the auction house, the auctioneer, I consider us sales brokers. So our job is to help 2 sets of clientele. So on one side of the coin, we've got the clients, the sellers, and our fiduciary responsibility to them is to liquidate their personal property, and in some cases real estate, to the highest bidder.
Yep.
And on the other side of the coin, we've got our customers, the buyers, and our job for them is to facilitate and open up a marketplace that is a third-party vendor to all the other outfits that you can buy stuff at, and make it fun, entertaining, engaging, interactive, and ultimately simplify the buying process and help them find interesting, cool, funky, unique stuff that they otherwise wouldn't come across at a regular retail location because it's been buried in somebody's estate for the last 20 to 30 years.
Right. Yeah. If not longer.
Yeah, exactly. And so we've seen the good, the bad, the ugly, the amazing, the incredible, the weird, and every day is a treasure hunt. You never know what's going to walk through your door. Somebody shows up with a truckload of stuff, or, that next time the phone call rings or somebody submits our lead form online and we go and do a complimentary on-site walkthrough and just go digging through stuff. Literally, people's garages, their attics, their basements, their crawl spaces, you name it.
You're like Alaskan pickers.
In a sense, yeah. It's a combination of Antiques Roadshow meets American Pickers meets Pawn Stars meets, hell, I don't know, any kind of sales show that you can watch. Yeah, and yeah, it is a treasure hunt every single day. So, we're dealing with vast amounts of inventory for a myriad of different clients at any given time, and so keeping all those plates spinning in the air, providing a level of customer service in a niche market that was lacking such at the time, and just letting people know who we are and what we're about, and trying to, as our mission statement, to be the #1 auction sales and fundraising experts in our community. And our community could be local, national, and international with the capabilities of our website and our online bidding platform. That was something that we brought to the market. I think we were the first auction house in Alaska to have a mobile bidding platform where other people were just doing stuff online or in person.
Right.
People could go and download our app, have a streamlined, direct way of just interacting and engaging with our customers. It's incredible to see, if we send out an email blast or a push notification, all of a sudden the spikes, just go up in the analytics, just to watch the registered bidders grow. And so
that's super
now, we got tens of thousands of registered bidders, email subscribers, social media followers, and that makes us a pretty powerful selling machine. And so that's what I really liked about, back in the day when I was doing advertising media sales, depending on which client I had to become an expert in that field. So if I had an auto client, I had to be an expert in auto. If I had a furniture guy, I had to be an expert in mattresses. If I had a medical client, all of a sudden, I got to know about audiology to help them sling hearing aids, whatever.
Right.
And the same thing with auctions. You're not limited to just one thing. As an auctioneer, you can sell, as long as you got the proper licensing and education to do so, just about anything. So that's how we have evolved and grown over the last 4 years now. So we have a federal firearms license. We have an auto dealer's license. We took our auto dealer's license a step further, and we got a DMV business partnership. So now we can sell your car and not have to waste your time by sending you to the DMV. We'll just do the title transfer and tags and registrations in-house. And then we've got a licensed realtor on staff who just became partner. And so now Abigail McLagan is helping us do land sale auctions for the Kenai Peninsula Borough and tax foreclosure and independent private sales. And so helping buyers and sellers realize that the auction methodology of sales doesn't have to be a scary or elusive one. If you think it doesn't have to always be bankruptcies or foreclosures or just junk properties, when realizing full potential fair market value of an asset, if you think about what the most expensive things in the world are, jewelry, artwork, coins, heavy machinery, cars, how are those prices discovered?
Yeah.
At an auction. Usually, you think Christie's, Sotheby's, Barrett Jackson's, Ritchie Brothers, Meekum's Auto Auction, these high-end auction facilities that are getting hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars for these assets because they're doing the same thing we're doing on a little bit larger scale.
Yeah.
I went to Barrett Jackson when I was 15 with
Yeah?
my dad, and it was the craziest
Right?
thing
Yeah,
I've
no,
ever
it's an
seen.
experience.
Yeah.
I'm still to make it there in person, but from all the videos and all my buddies in the auction industry, it's a week-long show of just crazy awesomeness.
It's nuts. You see this car go up there, and you're like, in your head, you're like, all right, 70 grand. And then it's like, they start at 70. Next thing you know, it's at 145. You're like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. It's awesome. It's a show. It's an experience. It's entertaining. It's engaging.
I didn't buy anything, but it was just great to be
Yeah.
there. It's just
And even if you don't buy anything, it's still the
energy,
experience.
the experience.
Oh yeah, the energy of the live auction is its own beast.
It's massive, dude. Those some of those. I mean, they're typically in Vegas, right?
They can be in Vegas. They can be in Arizona. Depending on which one you go to. Throughout California and Texas, they've got them just about everywhere.
Massive venues.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, they've built up this brand, this company, this platform to entice bidders to come in and to provide sellers an opportunity to reach as many qualified eyeballs as possible to help them reach the top dollar for whatever vehicle or asset that they're selling.
Yeah, it's cool to see, man. Well,
it is.
It's been cool watching your whole team grow as well, and you grow, man. It's been awesome.
Yeah, no, we've been very, very, very fortunate, very blessed, very lucky. And, as the saying goes, the harder you work, the luckier you get. So, I was out there planting seeds wherever you go.
It's weird how that works.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's just didn't happen upon all the success.
Right? Yeah. You get the people like, man, I wish I had that. It's like, well, you don't realize the amount of hours that we put in behind the scenes. It's not all sunshine and rainbows and peaches and cream every single day. Sometimes you got to deal with a little bit of the
ups and downs.
A little bit of the ups and downs. There you go. It's a more tactful way of putting it than I was going to say.
Just
dealing with all the shit that we had to do.
Yeah, no kidding, right? just eating turd sandwiches multiple times.
Every now and then, but it makes you appreciate the good times, right?
Keeps you humble.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not always just shaking hands, kissing babies.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. No, it's a lot of hours. It's a lot of uncertainty. It's a risk. It's a gamble. Although be it a calculated one, in that if you know enough people, if you talk to enough folks, and you provide a good quality service, and you've got the right team built up, for us, it's a matter of refining our systems and processes. And this year, being in year 4. I don't know, they say, whoever they is, that, years 3 to 5 is where the rubber really hits the road in terms of, a company, whether they make it or break it. So now us being in year 4, this has been the year of refining our systems and processes. So we just finished, building out our employee handbook and making sure that, everybody's on the same page when it comes to the standards and expectations of our company. We're working on building out our operations manual, how to start and run an auction house from the ground up, how to catalog inventory, how to take proper pictures for different types of inventory, how to edit stuff, how to build an auction. And so now kind of, McDonaldizing it without McDonaldizing it, so that the same standards of training and proficiency can be voiced
Duplicated.
across the board over and over again. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's not, hey, go train and shadow that guy for a day, and then go train and shadow that gal for a day, and then you might pick up some of the same stuff, but everybody's got their own little way
Right.
of doing it.
Yeah, you unify it, make it one. And I think we've done this for 6 months now, this podcast. And
Yeah.
the one thing that you said that I think all our guests always say is risk. As an entrepreneur, the risk is like, you have to have a little risk as
Yeah.
an entrepreneur. You, like we were talking about, you got to jump in head first and just
Absolutely.
let it happen.
Yeah, no, I mean, no risk, no reward, right? So if you get out there and take a big leap, sometimes you make a big splash, and so hopefully, you make it in a way that you can have some floaties on and stay hustling. And you know, my analogy of jumping off a cliff and learning how to build a plane on the way down. I think we've got the engine, we've got the wings together. We're starting to gain a little upward
Right.
trajectory momentum, and so yeah, now we're still burning a lot of fuel because as you come up, it requires a lot more effort. But once you get to that coasting, you know, that 30,000 level, then it's a little bit easier to just keep things moving right along. So. I think for us, our biggest thing that we're looking for right now is just more space.
Right.
So literally, I mean, we've been operating out of a 5,700 square foot facility now for the last 2 years. We've got a 3-year lease. So perfect opportunity for me to put a little seed of thought out there for yourself or any other realtors in the market. If anyone knows of a 30,000 square foot facility, Midtown to South Side,
Okay.
on a couple acres of land, $4 million or less, a unicorn, please let me know. That's our lease is up in June of 2023, and we need to expand and grow
Right.
so that we're not playing Tetris every single day with all the people and all the stuff.
Yeah. Well, this is a good spot to
I hope so.
let that be known.
Yeah. I got the Aspire group and
Yeah.
some of the top realtors in house here. So there's the lead if ever there was one.
Yeah, and our commercial stuff's been kind of booming too, man. It's been weird.
Dude, commercial's been crazy these last
Yeah.
couple of years. It's the office retail space is a lot more difficult from what
Right.
I understand, just because of COVID and everybody working from home. But everybody and their mother wants a warehouse, ourselves included.
Yeah.
And
Right.
so finding a good one. And I don't want to be on the east side. I don't want to be down by the port. There's other
Right.
outfits down there that I'd like to avoid replicating their scenarios. So
Right.
I do like the more Midtown, West Side, South Side of town.
Yeah, industrial stuff's been challenging.
Yeah.
Any
it
of the
is.
industrial stuff has been. We've got a few clients who want industrial space, and it's been, like you said, a unicorn. Right. So.
But it's a numbers game. You got to be in a million places at once, and hopefully
Yep.
when the time is right, someone remembers who you are, what you do, and how to get a hold of you. So
Oh yeah, man.
yeah.
Absolutely, dude.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously expansion. Mm-hmm. I mean, 5,700 square feet to 30,000 is
yeah.
pretty.
Yeah,
pretty,
well, our last one, so the little warehouse we had before this was 2,300 square feet,
Okay.
and we were in there less than a year. And
Yeah.
so, when you're starting a company, you don't know what you don't know, so you kind of just take little bites. You don't want to overextend yourself, and then take a bite that's too big and you choke on it. So, With the last time we moved, we outgrew it in less than a year, and then this time we outgrew it in less than a year. So this time I want to take off a big enough bite where we at least future-proof ourselves for the next maybe 3 years. I don't know.
Right.
Give you
And
some
just
time so you're not moving.
just more parking, more places to put storage connexes, more place to have a break room and a conference room and actual offices that we don't have to share space. And
Right.
we can have it'd be amazing to have an intake bay that you can actually drive a vehicle into and offload all the stuff there and have enough room to spread it all out before you store
Yeah.
it. And so those little things.
We're not
that,
Florida, so I mean,
right? exactly.
20 below.
Yeah.
there's like
I'd
7
say.
months of the year where you need that.
We waste a lot of heat and energy right now in the current methodology that we use. It's just open up the garage bay door and load stuff in, and then close it as quickly as you can. So
Right.
So yeah, no, having a facility that is more suited for what it is that we're doing and gives us the amount of space that we need, I think will be a huge relief in the bottlenecking aspect of where we're at right now. And then, continued growth. I mean, I don't know any other way to go but up. So I'd love, in a perfect world, 5 years from now to have another location in like Phoenix or Vegas or something
Yeah,
like that, where
be sweet.
we can tap into a market that, instead of hundreds of thousands of people in Alaska, has millions of people
Right.
and billions more assets to be able to sell. And so obviously there's more competition down there. So it's nice in Alaska. We're a little bit more insulated from stuff, but also it's a limiting factor in just the amount of, the smaller population and folks and opportunities that are out there. Although the opportunities are still pretty abundant up here. It's just, you just got to get out there and find them.
With that expansion, do you feel like you're going to get to that point? You talked about the golden handcuffs of like that limitations that you're like, okay, we're in Alaska. We did it here. Now we want to kind of expand.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. In the next 3 to 5 years, after we've got the building, after we've laid that foundation and we've got all the gears turning well and nice and smooth, then it'd be great to be able to expand into another market and not just be Alaska Premier Auctions and Appraisals, but America's Premier Auctions and Appraisals, And I still get to keep the same acronym. APAA still sticks.
Yeah. Heck yeah, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. That's good. That's good.
So yeah, I mean, obviously, being that we're an online auction house, the world is our market, right? So having that lower 48 presence where it's easier to ship stuff and, just my own self-serving interest, it'd be nice to have somewhere that I could just a quick 6-hour flight direct and back and just change temperatures like that.
Yeah, I know, right?
The whole snowbirding aspect is very appealing the older I get.
Hey, we can do that with Hawaii still.
Again, but see, Hawaii, you're still like an island, literally. So you're still kind of got that location buffer. So I think, I don't know, for me, Phoenix or Vegas are appealing for a good amount of reasons. Just, the demographic, the population, the opportunities, they each have their own selling points that I'd be interested in exploring. So
I like it.
Give it out there. And then I'm 35. I'll be 36 in October. My goal is to be done in 15 years. By the time I'm 50 and my youngest daughter's 18. So then I'm working because I want to, not because I have to.
Yeah,
So then my exit strategy is having some giant corporation buy us out or something.
They're like sold and retired.
There you go.
There we go. Awesome, man. That's it. I mean, obviously you got an awesome vision.
I'm trying.
That's here.
Yeah.
And I mean, it sounds attainable.
I hope so, or else I don't know what I'm doing. And even if then, I'll figure it out as we go along. Yeah,
that's how it goes. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going there.
I've got a semblance.
I'll figure it out on the way.
Yeah.
So talking about figuring it out on your way, have you noticed like a bunch of tweaks in your business as you grew? Like you're a little bit here, a little bit there to like get to that expansion. I know everybody in entrepreneurs are always like not failing, but tweaking a little bit to like expand and level up.
I mean, we've had some projects that didn't work out the way that we wanted them to, and so we pivot or we shift gears. I think for us, so for instance, an example would be we have a packaging store liquor license, and when we originally got the license, our thought process was, hey, we're gonna be able to liquidate all of the wine cellars from our estate clients that we come across, and we had the best of intentions, and we got the attorneys involved, and we thought that we'd be able to do that. Unfortunately, didn't quite read the fine print in the Alaska Title IV laws, and you can't legally sell alcohol unless it comes from another licensed vendor. So we went through this whole process and got a packaging store liquor license, and now we sell it, we buy it and resell it via our auction methods. And so it's not a huge money maker for us in terms of, we actually have to spend money on our product and then resell it and hopefully not lose anything, versus our other methods is just everything we sell is on consignment. So a little bit more overhead costs in that regards. But we pivoted and we still make it work. And so now once a month we're doing an online auction where, like, we just did one for the Independence Day Spirits auction. So we try and find a little bit more of the rare, unique, interesting bottles that you're not going to come across at your regular brown jug kind of thing.
I've drank some of those bottles.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Damn you and your wine auctions.
Those are another one. Those are good ones.
Yeah.
We did a good. I think it was a Valentine's Day wine auction that was quite successful. That was a fun one.
Every time those come up, my wife just goes, "Don't even think about it."
Don't even. As soon as you get that push notification, ding! Like, oh, a new auction's up for bidding.
I took Tyler one time to pick up wine. He's like, "How much you spend?" I'm like, "Don't ask.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about
it. It's real smooth."
There you go.
It was really good wine.
Awesome.
Good wine is.
Yeah. So I think we talked a little bit about how unique you find some of these estates, and you got these you're picking through all kinds of random stuff. I think listeners are probably, what's the most unique thing you've found so far?
We get that question quite a bit, and I'll be forthright in stating that I'm not the average employee that is the one doing the picking. So as the founder, principal auctioneer, CEO, whatever you want to call my position now, I'm doing more of the day-to-day operations, managing the crew, going on sales calls, working through whatever a thing. So so I've got a team of partners and employees that are the ones that are actually going there picking and sorting and going through the stuff, and that they love that. So I'm not as into the picking side of things as the treasure hunting. I'll be completely honest. I like more of the auctioneering, the bid calling. Right. But there are some people that eat, sleep, and breathe the pick. And so we've sold some weird stuff, man. We've sold. I think that the
top five. Give us top five, dude.
The top five. Let's see. We've sold not one but two human medical specimen skulls. One with a lower mandible, one without. We've sold one of the world's top 5 largest gem quality opals, the Americus Australis. That was buried in somebody's estate for years. And just, somebody gives us a call and like, hey, we've got a big rock. We want to sell it. Like, what? So, somebody,
send us a picture.
We get some weird calls. And so you have to take the time to vet it and see it through. And this one just so turned out to be that we had the provenance to show where it came from, what it was all about. And we put it out there to a global market, and it found a new home down in Dallas, Texas. And so we sold that. That was pretty cool. We got to hand fly that one down there.
Yeah.
There's some places that you just don't trust the Postal Service.
Total like Men in Black, handcuffs on the case.
My partner, Nick, and I flew down there and we went through TSA. They didn't even blink an eye because, to them, it's just a big rock. So
right.
Exactly. Like the client said, we got a big rock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then, I like to think we sell some pretty cool guns. We sell some cool automobiles. We just sold one of probably 1,000 or so ever made. It was a 1969 Ford Mustang Mach 1 in the new lime green color, which is quite rare. We just sold a GT 500 that had 8.9 miles on it.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was a showroom car, basically, and just parked in the garage for years. I think it was a 2007, and still had the factory stickers. Still, it was the headrests were signed by Carol Shelby, who had done work on it. Yeah, it's pretty cool. We sold an airplane. In terms of real estate and land, the largest piece that we've sold was about 50 acres in Soldotna. That was a live simulcast auction. So we did the bid calling from the Soldotna High School auditorium to the attendees in person, as well as taking bids online. And that was the highest bid calling I've personally ever done. So I had to slow down a little bit to make sure I didn't get those numbers wrong, but that sold for 1.5 mil. So that was pretty impressive, and I think a cool little feather in my personal cap.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And let's see, I don't know, real estates, planes. We've sold some interesting tour buses.
I'm still curious about this rock. How much did this rock go for?
$144,000.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, it was huge.
Yeah, I just can't.
12,000 carats. If you think about,
was big.
it's literally the size of your head, dude.
Yeah, I'm like, it was big.
Yeah. I envy you for being able to be like, you got a rock, let's go check it out.
Yeah, my business partner, he fielded that call and he built that relationship, and he was able to convince them that we would do, right by them, and we were fortunate to get the opportunity, and I think we did a good job.
The expectations you get as a client when you're just like, yeah, I got a rock, I wonder what this is worth, and then they're like, yeah, you got 144. They're like,
yeah, and maybe some people might think that we sold it for less than it was worth, because our estimates, when what do you compare that to? What are the comps on that, right? We were hoping for maybe somewhere in the 250 to 350 range, but still a sale is a sale, and that's still a win to me. So
Right.
Sure.
If you consider what else could you spend $144,000 on? People are usually talking real estate, right? They're not just buying giant opals. So.
Yeah, no kidding.
So I'd say that's definitely a win for us, and yeah, now it's anything that we can sell. I don't know what in terms of the other top 5, but I like doing the commercial business liquidations or surplus inventory sales. Dealing, we do estate sales for those folks that are going through the transitional phase in their lives, and we'll just do general consignments. So sometimes we'll really get some cool comics or some cool Pokemon cards or Magic the Gathering, and we've done a few of those more specialty auctions. Some of the firearms we've sold, really badass, like Beretta sniper rifle. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
You were like, I'm gonna take this one.
I've bought a couple guns from our auctions, but yeah, not that one. My
this
wife
one's
would
sold.
flip her lid on that one. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I just got a new safe, so I need to put some guns in it now.
I think one of the coolest guns that I personally bought was it was a revolver. It was, I think it was a 45. It was gold plated, commemorative of the Iditarod.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
So back when I think it was FNBA was doing gifts for opening accounts with their bank. That was they teamed up with Smith and Wesson, and that was one of their firearms.
They were giving guns away as a
Yes.
gift. What happened? To
Yes.
us?
Yeah, come on, FNBA.
Yeah, what's going on?
And forgive me if I'm wrong. I don't remember the exact bank, but
don't care
it was
what
one of
bank it
the
is. I
the,
want
the
it.
older, more long-standing banks in our
Right,
state.
right.
So,
Right.
yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
It was. It's not
That
just
is-
your average like toaster or calendar.
I'm over here getting a list.
Yeah,
in
what
my head
year
for
was
Dan.
this?
Right, yeah.
Pretty sure that's frowned upon now.
If you find any like 1960 to 69 C10 Chevys,
Oh, okay.
that's my
yeah,
thing.
that was your thing?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one specifically. We did a pretty cool, so I think it was a Dodge Power Ram. It was like a 92.
Yeah.
Diesel, very sought
gen.
after, super
Yeah.
low mileage. I mean,
Yeah.
those diesel trucks, you can run them for hundreds of thousands
Oh,
of
yeah.
miles. And this thing, I mean, we made a nice little flip on that one. That one we actually went and bought and resold. So that was a cool little deal that we did on that
Yeah,
one.
those first gens are crazy. Everybody wants a first gen.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would have bought it too.
I see some of the I see some of these car shows, and I like to watch the car shows, and some of the cab over trucks that they do and how they
yeah,
redo
man.
them. They're pretty badass.
They're
Yeah,
cool.
That one, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That or if you go the complete opposite direction, if and when they ever release it, I was thinking, if I got a Tesla truck and then wrap that in like metallic purple, that'd be the best driving billboard.
Oh, dude, that'd be cool,
Oh,
man.
Cybertruck.
Yeah.
Glass computer.
Yeah,
That'd be
exactly.
Sweet.
We're quick and we can haul a lot of stuff.
And you won't miss us.
And you won't miss it. It's so ugly, it's like you can't look away.
Yeah. And we're green.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, yes and no, I guess, depending on where you think the energy to power said batteries comes from.
Right. No kidding. Well, I mean, as far as like what are some of the lessons that you've learned over the last 4 years that you can kind of give to other
What are some
entrepreneurs?
lessons? For me, I think some of the key lessons are in managing people and building a good team. As the saying goes, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And so that's why I think we've gotten to a point where we have 30 plus full-time employees 7 days a week that are working at our company now, and creating that company culture. And so. I like to say we don't strive for perfection, we strive for excellence. Because as humans, perfection is impossible; it's unattainable. Right. But you can always strive to be excellent. Do it a little bit better than you did the day before. And if you fail, pick yourself up, learn from it. Don't repeat the same mistake over and over again. Fail quickly, and then get back up and learn how to make that right. And so strive for that excellence to be the best, to be the number one in your field. And I think one of the things for me, I joined Rotary International, I don't know, almost a decade ago. And actually, I just took over as president of Anchorage South Rotary for this
Nice, man.
22
Congrats.
year. Thank you. Yeah. And Rotarians have a service above self motto or mindset. And I think that to me speaks in abundance, because if you're out there taking care of people and giving more than you take, in the long run, I mean, you're just planting good karma seeds, right?
Yeah.
Making deposits in the bank. And hopefully when the time arises, if you need to take a withdrawal, you've got enough people there that you've helped out that they wouldn't even bat an eye and blinking at, helping you back kind of thing.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I think, through BNI, the Business Network International group that I'm a part of, they have another mindset of giver's gain. So the more that you're out there actively hustling to give other people referrals, the more likely they are to want to reciprocate and do that in return for you, because they see you as another worthwhile contributing member of the community and a valuable asset to have as a connection or acquaintance or hopefully a friend. So yeah, that idea of community and service above self and just taking care of folks and just be a good person, right? Like, be a good human being. I don't care what you believe in. I don't care what your politics are. I don't care what your religion is. I don't care who you love. Like, as long as you're a good human being, like, that's what I look for in team members that want to subscribe to our company culture. And, all things being equal, your glass isn't half empty. It isn't half full. It's all the way full until you start to drain it. And that's the way I kind of got to approach it, right? Like, give everybody the benefit of the doubt and give them the opportunity to go out and do a good job and prove to you and whoever else that they're worth a damn, and hopefully they want to strive to that level of excellence that we're building.
Right.
Yeah. Have you found that, obviously you said culture multiple times, right? And I find that as one of the biggest things in your business is protecting that culture, right? Which, I mean, obviously you want to make sure the employees fit in that. And have you found that you've had to kind of really adjust your hiring process over the years to make sure that you fit the right people in?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. For us, it's not just, quality. It's not quantity. It's quality over quantity. And so, I'll interview a dozen people, or I'll schedule a dozen interviews. Let's put it that way. Right. Half of them will show up.
Right.
Let's be real. Unfortunately, that it is what it is. And then of that, you really want to drill down to the person that, at least can speak to the points that you're looking for, and being trustworthy and being a good person, and trying to help out others and have that treasure hunt spirit in them, and don't mind rolling up their sleeves, and if they've got a job to do, they can be held accountable to do it. They don't have to be micromanaged or babysat. And so, I figure we're all adults here. We should, what your job is. You should be able to do it without, having to be monitored over. And so as long as we're providing the right systems and processes and training, which again is what we're striving to do and build up over this next year, then hopefully we provide them with the tools and the resources they need to do the job.
Yeah.
And then people usually weed themselves out with it.
I was just gonna say,
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy to see the way, I'm very young for being at this table, but I've noticed with the workforce, it's gone from, essentially this like, I want to go to work, and it used to be when I was 18, 19 years old, everybody would go work and they wouldn't weed themselves out because they had a goal in life, right? And now it seems like I want to go to work until the work turns into work, and then it's like,
this isn't fun anymore.
Yeah, this isn't all
I have to show up to get paid?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's kind of how this works.
Talking about weeding yourself out, it seems like lately there's like just no motivation anymore. It's just like...
Yeah, COVID's been an interesting thing to deal with in that regards, just because people were able to... Let's call it freeload, not work, whatever, get by with whatever handouts were being given at the time. So now... I think I'd like to think that we're getting past some of that, and we're seeing some of the people that want to get out there and hustle again. Although be it we've had to adjust our salary wage rates. We've had to adjust our flexibility and what benefits that we can provide so that we can make ourselves more attractive in a competitive hiring market. And I think we've done a good job of that. I mean, there are some people that can't even get a fifth of the folks that we have to hire. And so I'm not complaining. We're sitting in a good place. But yeah, getting the people, and I don't think you said you're too young to be sitting at the table. I don't think it's an age thing that matters. It's what you do with those days on earth that counts. That's what will differentiate you. That's what will set you apart. And so for us, I don't care how old you are. I mean, obviously you have to be of legal age to be able to hire a firearm,
right?
Handle a firearm. Jeez. But yeah, after that, it's just a matter of, like you said, showing up. If you've been assigned X amount of inventory to catalog for the day, by the time the day is over, we hope that you've done that.
Yeah. It's been interesting, and having, I think we're on like episode 15 or something like that, right? Somewhere around there.
Nice.
And everybody's had the same conversation about kind of like finding employees, keeping employees.
Yeah, retention's huge.
Retention's huge.
Yeah, because every time you have to hire somebody new, all that time, effort,
all
and energy.
over again, right? And for me, it's been interviewing people and that want to get into real estate, and kind of like looking at the last 2 years, and it's like, oh, I just decided to quit my job and just kind of live for a year. I'm like,
that's not going to work in real estate.
Yeah, I'm like, and so that immediately, to me at least, describes to like their self-motivation.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, probably not going to work out too well, right? Because I really can't depend on you to be self-accountable and show up every day.
Yeah.
If you're just willing to live off the government for a year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, okay.
Yeah. No, I think real estate is one of, it's one of the most lucrative fields you can get into, but it's also one of the ones that right place, right time, right amount of hard work is really what's going to make all the difference, because it's, you know, you're not going to wake up one day and your phone's going to be ringing off the hooks and everybody and their mother wants to sell stuff through you. You have to get out there and build those relationships. And you, again, have to be in a million places at once. And hopefully, you know, I've seen it countless times from a lot of my other realtor buddies, like, oh man, my best friend or this person or that, and they just listed this house with this other agent. It's like, well, why weren't you in front of them? Like, there's a reason why, and you can't be mad at them. Like, you know, obviously they found something in someone else that you didn't have, and it's not always a bad thing, right? Sometimes, you know, you can't be all things to all people, but yeah, that having a handout kind of thing, waiting for something to fall in your lap is not a good way to go about it. So hiring
especially
the right
in
people.
sales,
Yeah, exactly.
right?
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure in your line of work and our line of work, right? It's a very self-motivated fields to go find stuff, right? It's very outside sales, right? Showing your value, right? And if you're not willing to put the work in, like, I mean, you're not gonna. I mean, it's hard work,
Absolutely.
right? I think that's what most people don't get.
Yeah, it's long hours, and it's a lot of, you know, early mornings and late nights and pounding the pavement or the phone call or the web leads or whatever, you know, means of lead gen that you're going to do. Going to the networking events, being on the different boards, and you know, surrounding yourself with other folks that hopefully can help you get to that next level. And then again, I think for me, it ties back to helping out more than you take. So the more people that you can get out there and have that mindset of just like, hey, I'm not in it for the sale. I'm in it to provide a service that's going to facilitate something for somebody. And if I happen to get paid out of it, fantastic. And if not, then oh well. At least maybe I'll get a good recommendation or referral for the next opportunity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Doing a good service is always like what you should be striving for. You know, I mean, that's why we have this podcast and the YouTube channel, right? Is just provide value, and education, right, and let people tell a story, and just, you know, that's the whole point, right?
I agree.
And we enjoy it, man.
Yeah, it's fun. You know,
we
you get to hang
love
out.
it. You know,
Yeah.
we're gonna have Dan Newman on.
For me, you get these opportunities, you talk to these people, and you get to pick up little nuggets, right? Like you get to learn something new. And for someone like myself, like I didn't go to college, I didn't get the 4-year degree, so anything I can learn through the school of hard knocks in the streets or whatever you want to call it is invaluable, because it opens up my perspective and opinion and mindset to things that I wouldn't have known or thought about beforehand. Like, I'm always the first to admit I don't know what I don't know, but I don't mind, and I'm willing to do the hard work to figure it out or find the right people that can, you know, surround yourself with the 5 people that, you know, are the average that you want to be like. So surround yourself with greatness, become greatness. Surround yourself with shit.
My favorite line that I heard the other day is, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
I really appreciate that too. Is like it's all about perspective, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're out helping people or just being a good human, like that's your perspective. You're not here to get a handout. You're not here to make anything out of. You just generally care about people and want to help other people.
Yeah.
And then if it happens, it happens.
Yeah. Do I want to get rich in the process? That'd be nice.
Yeah.
But ultimately, do I want to provide like a good living for myself and my family and those that have hired me? That's the ultimate goal. It's just make it so that everybody can have a livable wage and have the flexibility to have time off and take their vacations and spend time with their family and go to their birthdays and their anniversaries. And, you know, just, again, that company culture of just, you know, not working to live. Or excuse me, not living to work, but you're living a life that gives you that balance and that sense of fulfillment, and and then if you do a good job and then you play the game right, then hopefully you do get to retire with a little extra coin in your bank account that you can travel the world or whatever it is that you want to do. That's my goal. Is I want to travel more. Like,
man.
Yeah, for sure.
See, it's a big world out there, so just being able an opportunity to see some of those. And I've actually gotten to do a lot of traveling even in the career as we speak. So getting that point where again I can be a 1 million miler and fly wherever I want, whenever I want.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah, exactly.
I heard they have great benefits.
Yeah, my father-in-law just reached that, you know, within the last year, and they've got some good perks there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think one of my favorite questions asked entrepreneurs is, what motivates you? Like, what makes you get up in the morning?
I got 3 kids, bro. And a wife.
That'll do it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, for me, I have a sense of responsibility to my family. You know, being the breadwinner, and not to say that, you know, my wife works a full-time job as well, so she contributes to our family's financial situation also, and in addition to helping out tremendously with the kids. Like, without her, I'd be up shit creek without a paddle. So I got to give huge credit and accolades to that woman. But for me, being, the owner of a company, being, the person in the family that's, paying for the mortgage and the bills and stuff like that, that's my hustle. That's my motivation, is I want to be able to afford my family all the things that I didn't have when I was growing up. And so, whether that's an education or whether that's, chances to go to, different events or vacations, whether that's whatever little gadget or toy or stupid knick-knack that they want, fine.
Right, right.
Giving them what I didn't have, kind of thing. So I think that's what drives me, is just knowing that I'm responsible for them, and I want to set a good example. I want to teach my boys and my daughter that you can work hard and you can come from quote unquote nothing and still build something for yourself. Because at the end of the day, like I said, first generation American. My mom came here with nothing, and she busted her ass and she worked herself to the bone, and she gave my sister and I all the opportunities that opened up doors that gave us a chance to be where we're at now. And so if I can show my family that growing up, that if you put in the hours, if you put in the hard work, if you build good relationships, that's what drives me to get up every day.
Yeah, I like it. I think do you feel like the more employees you get and the more your team grows, the more motivated you get?
There's definitely, there is more of a sense of responsibility for them to make the bottom line, because I don't ever want to be in a position where it's like, oh crap, I can't make payroll, right? And I think this year, of all years, we've done quite a bit of hiring, and we've done a lot in terms of raising our wages for folks, both hourly and salary. And so I'm guessing that we're probably going to be somewhere in like the 1.4, 1.5 million in payroll alone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
awesome. Good for you, man.
Yeah. So, I mean, I feel, a sense of pride and ownership of that, but also a sense of responsibility that, if I'm the bus driver, I got to be the one guiding the bus, getting the people on the bus, getting them on the right seat, and then driving in a direction where we can all, afford to pay our bills when we get off at the next stop.
It's not like speed.
It's not like speed. We'll not blow up if we go under 50 miles an hour. Nice callback. You said opportunity quite a few times, right? Especially obviously with your background and watching your mom hustle to provide, right? I think a lot of people just kind of miss or just don't quite understand how much opportunity there really is. So no matter your background, no matter where you came from, no matter what your current status is, I mean, all you have to do is just grind. Yeah.
Work hard.
Yeah.
Dude, and the world is your oyster.
I was
There's so
gonna say,
much
yeah.
opportunity in this country, man. It's crazy.
There is no standing still. You're either moving forward or backwards. And I'm of the mindset, if you're not learning and growing, you're dying, right? So, every new day is a chance to learn something new, to meet somebody, to advance yourself in some sort of means that are going to help get you to that next level. And so, you can always learn something from somebody.
We have this conversation quite a bit. It's like everybody's always like, money hungry. A lot of people are driven by money. Obviously, that kind of makes the world go around sometimes. But
a lot of times,
money's everywhere. You just literally, like Justin said, you have to be able to churn that perspective in your brain to be like, okay, I have to go get it now.
Yeah.
Right? It's everywhere.
Yeah, and I commend y'all on some of the work that you're doing with NFTs and things of that nature, where there's money to be had in a digital market that some people just straight up don't even understand, right? And when it comes to auctions and now what you're seeing with people selling off NFTs via auction and the millions of dollars that can be had there, that's going to be one of the next biggest things, I think bigger than Bitcoin and all the the currency exchanges, is the people wanting to own these digital assets. The same thing that drove us to mine our fields in Farmville or to put clothes on our Sims because of whatever culturally that drove us to do that. With more and more people living in a digital era and wanting, you see the Facebooks and the Disneys and these huge corporations that are spending millions or billions in creating these digital worlds, and you can, customize them to your heart's content. It's just a matter of creating the content and then selling it off to the right person that can afford it.
Oh yeah, man, we'll get there.
It just comes with a vision, really. I mean, when we started our NFT project, it was me and Justin were just sitting around here and we were talking about NFTs, and I was just like, we should do an Alaskan-based NFT.
Yeah.
Give back to the community with some kind of roadmap. If you hold this NFT, you're going to get X, Y, and Z.
Mm-hmm.
And we're thinking about it, and we're like, that's literally like having, I don't know if you've seen the Go Oahu card in Hawaii. It's basically essentially a card that you get these discounts or like free entry into these different events and whatnot. And I was like, we need something like that for Alaska.
I haven't personally, but it makes sense.
Yeah, I that's where I kind of got the idea. I went to Oahu and I bought this card. It cost me like $175.
Okay.
I was there for a week, and I got in a free luau Polynesian Cultural Center. I got free admission into the botanic gardens and like all these different things around the islands, and it benefits these different venues because people are now traveling and coming in and seeing
and you didn't have to sit through a 90-minute timeshare presentation to get that. Fantastic.
grab my iPhone, go to Google and type
Just kidding. He did. There's the catch. No, I'm just
yeah. So just like kind of thinking outside the big picture, and you're like, okay, what can we do to provide to our community? What can we do that the new fad and like help our community? So that's kind of how the NFT was born.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where you guys at with that with now?
Still working on it. It's
Yeah.
You know, the vision of like going to businesses and be like, hey, this is how it's going to provide to you. Everybody's still new with the NFTs and how that's going to provide value to companies, and we're still just like, this is what we're trying to do, and we'll gain traction. It just takes time.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of education. I think that's
Yeah.
the biggest thing. Is just explaining a new concept to people that well, it's like you're building something out of nothing, literally.
Right. Literally.
Yeah, literally.
Out of nothing. We have an idea and we're trying to pitch it, and time goes on and your pitch gets a little better. You get a little more fluent. You start to understand what your picture is, and it's all about sales. Like you need to be able to present it to somebody fluent and convince them, literally, like.
And then, once you get a few people on there, you get more like actual testimonials and people that can speak more eloquently to it in a larger scheme. So, I think, like I said, I commend you on your efforts. It's good to see.
Yeah. And we got some other projects in the works right now. We're developing an app as well. So,
nice. Okay.
But it's, so it's picking and prioritizing what you want to work on as a business, like what's going to take you to the next level and what's going to take some time to get to there,
There's only so many hours in the day.
There is,
Was it you that I was talking to? I don't forget who I was talking to. It was like, if I can figure out a way to fit 48 hours in the next 12, that'd be great.
I think we did have that conversation. I think that was at the Aloft. It was
go.
at the Aloft,
You're right,
yeah.
you're right.
That's such a true statement, especially when you're like, okay, today I'm looking at my calendar and I have 48 hours of commitments and I have 12 hours.
Yeah, it is. It's back to back to back. And so, you got to pick and choose which opportunities you want to take advantage in your schedule.
Well, thank you for taking the time to come on the
Yeah,
podcast.
no,
Dan's like, I didn't have anything to do today.
It's like, it's actually kind of open.
yeah.
Guess what, I get lunch?
If there's ever a day they don't have something going on, something I've gotten hit by a bus because I don't know. Like, my calendar is a hot rainbow, ridiculous mess of just appointments and whose calendar I'm watching and who's watching mine. Yeah, it's all over the place.
And
I live and
life
die
has
by
all
the
of them.
calendar.
Yeah, the calendar is the way to go, and that's one thing. Teaching other agents or people on our team is like you have to have some kind of structure, and we're big on our calendars, right?
Yeah.
It's like this is our time. This is the time we're providing to you if you need help. And then if your calendar gets out of whack, man.
My wife even knows, like, if it's on the calendar, it doesn't exist. That's kind of my motto. We plan our kids' stuff in there. We plan her stuff, my stuff, work stuff. I've got my personal, I've got my work calendar. I've got everybody else's calendar synced. It's my notification system. That's how I know, like, when I leave here, I don't know exactly what I'm doing, but I will be notified within 10 to 15 minutes of when I'm supposed to be there. I give myself enough drive time to get wherever I need to go. And that's one of the nice things about Anchorage is you can get just about anywhere in about 30 minutes or less. So
that is kind of a nice thing.
The calendar thing's cool too, because he'll tell me we need to do something, right, and then I'll forget, and he'll be like, I put it in the calendar. And I'm like, no, dude, it's not in the calendar. And then he'll be like, oh, I didn't put it in the calendar.
Oh, shoot. Dang it. I failed.
See, it's like with now today's day and age, I'm all about having a good digital CYA to cover your tracks, and having that conversation laid out, having the calendar appointments or whatever email chain is there's just so much going on. It's impossible to retain it all, and you almost don't have to if you can work your calendar system.
Correctly. You gotta have something in place so you don't have to use all that bandwidth in your brain to try to remember what's going on throughout the day. So if you have something set up, it makes your streamline it.
Yeah, my wife is a planner, so she'll go and she'll plan out all our trips. She's like the best travel agent ever, even though she's not actually a travel agent. but she will do it months out. And I'm the guy that I'll land in a new city. I'm like, okay, where am I going? I don't need to know. I'll just pull it up in my email. There's the address. I can call a Lyft, get me to wherever, That would terrify her.
I'm that way as well. I totally like fly by the seat of my pants. Besides a few like planned things here and there.
Yeah.
And
real quick example on that, because that makes me laugh. So him and I and Billy went to Vegas, and when we get out of this conference, Justin's like, all right, we need an Uber. I'm like, where are we going? He's like, back to the hotel. And he's like trying to figure out where we're going. And finally he's like, let's just walk. And it's like 100 degrees.
yeah, that was a terrible idea.
And the whole time we're sitting in this conference, they have AC. So I'm like this. I'm like dressed up, right? And he's like, let's just go walking. Next thing you know, we get back to the hotel. All of us are just
We are covered in sweat, man.
We got the swass. We're just hating it.
There you go.
And Justin's like, that wasn't that bad. All of us are just shaking our heads like, bro.
Listen.
You could have ordered the Uber 15 minutes ago. We could have been good.
Yep. And AC with music.
Yeah.
Well, you learned a valuable lesson that day.
We did.
There you go.
Yeah. Don't walk the
How much you want to bet we Ubered everywhere after that?
There you go.
100% of the time.
Although we did walk one time at night, but it was like 75.
I was saying nighttime in Vegas is fine. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's the
you
middle
can
of the
walk.
day.
It's not terrible.
But that was
But
after,
like
that was after hours.
1 o'clock, not the best time to go walk a mile and a half off the Vegas Strip.
So what time of year was that?
This is
April.
April. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's still pretty warm there.
But
Yeah.
completely honest, you guys woke. I took an Uber. Not kidding.
Oh, I think you did take an Uber, didn't you?
I did. 'Cause you guys
Oh,
were
yeah.
taking forever. I was like, I'm Ubering. I'm done.
Yeah, and we got lost too.
Took the scenic route.
We did take the very scenic route.
It was Aspire after hours.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. No, Vegas is fun though. We have a continuing education conference there the first week of December every year, and so like I'll go down there and a couple of my business partners to do they call it the Designation Academy. So like I've earned my benefit auctioneer specialist designation there, so I can speak better or more eloquently towards the nonprofit fundraising charity galas that I do for schools and nonprofits. And my business partner Nick, he earned his general personal property appraisal designation. Abigail has earned her auction marketing management designation and is completing her report on her accredited auctioneer of real estate investing.
Nice.
So yeah, it's a cool opportunity to go down to Vegas for the year in a not so hot month. And
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I mean, right now it's probably blistering down there.
Yeah, I
dude.
would not go down there right now.
No.
Not until like, I don't know, September.
At least.
I took my oldest brother down there. He'd never been down there, and I was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to take him. And we went to Lake Mead. It was
Oh, there you go.
117 degrees.
Oh, God,
And
nope.
we were with some friends on a boat, and I had my shoes off, and they're like, "Make sure you put your slippers back on when you jump on the dock." I'm like, I'm from Alaska. Jumped off, blistered my feet. in a
Oh,
second.
Jesus,
Yep.
dude.
I could not walk for the next couple of days, walking through the airport like tiptoeing.
Like we go from heated building to heated car to heated building. They go from AC building to AC car to AC building. Yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Auto start for the AC.
Yeah,
So,
that's crazy. Cool.
yeah, Vegas is fun. What else you got planned this year, man? Anything?
We've got our annual conference and show in July in San Diego. So they're actually going to be combining the National Auctioneers Association's conference and show with the Benefit Auctioneer Summit. So I'll get to go down there here at the end of this month with a couple of our team members and do some continuing education for the auction industry. I'm going to be competing for the second time ever in the IAC, the International Auctioneers Championship bid calling contest. So I'll get to, iron sharpen iron, compete with some of the best in the world and see how I stack up. And get outside of my own comfort zone and challenge myself to continue to strive to do better and become excellent in the industry. And what else? We've got a big land sale auction coming up in August for the Kenai Peninsula Borough. So this will be the second year that we sell, I think, 18 or 19 parcels throughout the peninsula.
Nice.
So that'll be a cool opportunity there. Of course, Vegas in December, and then towards the end of the year, end of August, early September, especially into October, that's what I call the nonprofits gala season. So all of the nonprofit charity fundraisers will start up then. So that'll keep us busy, and then working on just financing and finding that unicorn. So that in the next 10 months we've got a new place that we can do our own ribbon cutting in again and show off
That'd be cool,
all
man.
the bells and whistles with extra space.
I'll go put it on the whiteboard in the bullpen.
Thank you. I
There you go.
appreciate
The
that.
unicorn.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Awesome.
Dan Newman next
Yeah.
to it. Phone number.
Right?
Here's the credentials.
At this point, yeah. Because I'm all ears and anybody that can bring me. I feel like it's going to have to be somebody's pocket listing. Like it's going to be somebody that
Probably.
knows somebody. Just,
Right.
here's an opportunity. Snap it up before it goes on the market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on, man. Really appreciate you taking the time out of your Monday. And I know
Absolutely.
Mondays can get a little chaotic.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
no, man.
um,
Thanks for the
you talk
chance.
about Facebook and where can they find your business? Facebook and
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we're on all the major. So AlaskaPremierAuctions.com is the website. You can download the mobile apps from the iTunes or the Apple Store and the Google Play Market. So you can download the bidding platform there. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We're on LinkedIn. We're on YouTube, Twitter. I think we have a TikTok page now.
heck yeah.
No, I don't think. I know we have a TikTok page now.
wanna
Kiana's
see
been
some
working
yeah,
that.
I wanna see some
Kiana's been working
TikToks.
that up. And yeah, so at Alaska Premier Auctions on just about all of those platforms is going to be the easiest way to find us. Or good old fashioned 907-570-7050. Just give us a call.
well, thanks for
Sweet,
coming,
man.
Dan. We
Yeah.
appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Most definitely.
All right, man. Well, I'll have to keep an eye out for that property for you.
All right, appreciate
And then,
it.
Thank you.
of course, some people your way.
Sounds
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Take care.